Okay, we're here with Tissue Innovations Bone Mill. We do have two of these bone mills that we wanted to try out. It was returned to us because the parts were too tight. Um, and also that you heard that there was metal on metal parts. We've gone through this bone mill for the last 3 4 days and have opened up what we think you might have heard. I mean, and we have assembled it. We think that because the parts were autoclaved, there was some type of expansion between parts, and we have gone ahead and cut back parts as much as we can. Very first thing that we ended up checking on was that the shaft coming out of the motor was not bent. Typically, if the shaft is bent, you'll see an up and down movement or a side to side movement. We have actually checked, made sure that this one was a-okay. I'll plug it in just to show you what it should look like. If you notice, the motor runs through, there's no up and down movement or side to side movement on that. So we're actually ready to go ahead and put the bone mill together. We have actually gone ahead and made sure that there is no ticking sound, meaning that there would be metal upon metal. You want to make sure that, after you assemble the bone mill, that you listen. You actually listen, turn the shaft itself, listen to see if there is any ticking sound or if there is anything that would hint that there is a metal to metal interaction. There are three different points that you could actually find that there is metal to metal. One would be the upper the upper the upper tertiary blade. There is another blade that's down below. That's down below. It's underneath this cover. It's a secondary blade, and then of course the third blade itself, which is the main blade. The main thing you want to hear is that this turns, and you listen for any type of metal or any type of obstacle that does not let this turn freely. So I did not hear anything, so we're about ready to start putting the bone mill together. Main thing is there's a window here. That window should belongs here, and make sure that the Lovejoy itself is interacted with the Lovejoy on the inside. That's the only way you can actually get these four screws to actually get this bone mill bolted down. So we're gonna slide this up, and if you notice, the Lovejoy itself will be, not placed right. You will know when the Lovejoy is placed right when you actually slide it all the way through, and the windows will come through to this end. One way that you can actually see is to open the bone mill and gently turn the shaft to kind of match where the part is. Once you do that, you can actually, if you didn't notice that went forward, it's now interlocked into the Lovejoy, and now it's time you can actually literally put in these screws in on the back side without any effort whatsoever. You can leave it finger tight. However, what happens is that you have to make sure that these are tightened down. This is the only place that this bone mill is actually held down at. And you want to make sure that these itself are timed enough so that you don't have a problem with it whatsoever. You want to use an Allen wrench to actually go in and screw this in. As I said, the idea is to make sure that these bolts, that's probably one of the most important thing, because you don't want this bone mill to torque on you. Make sure that the four bolts on the bottom are securely tight. And once they're securely tight, you can make a test run on the bone mill with it being opened. With it being opened a little bit, you can actually go move it forward. Let's plug it in first. Can actually move it forward with this open. And again, too, the idea is to listen to find out if there's any tick-tick sound on these. Move it backwards to see if there is any tick sounds. And if it isn't, then you're actually good. You're actually ready to start bone mill. Close the chute. And as you know, you do have a heavy weighted part that actually goes inside here. You want to make sure, again, once you put the weights in, that you don't hear that tick-tick sound. Another part where you can actually hear it is the window itself. This is the window that holds the sieve inside. Right now there is a sieve inside here that it's 033, and you can actually just open it. That's another thing that you actually want to make sure that this is what holds the window in place. You want to make sure that the window itself is tucked in all the way, and that's not causing any metal to metal. We didn't hear any metal to metal, so the window should be fairly in place at this point. I'm gonna just open it and show you what the window should look like. Once you know, for autoclaving purposes, this is what happens. When you take out these two screws, then the window should literally open up at this point. Please note that these sieves should be as flat as possible. I mean, if you hear tick-tick sounds, this could be another area where, you know, somebody did not put in the sieve in correctly, and you could actually hear the ticking sound to it. So you wanna I'm gonna go back in and just literally push this back in and and tighten up back the screws. Once again, listening to make sure that there is no ticking sound that is happening on the window itself. The window doesn't engage till the very last bit of the thread that goes inside there. So I want to make sure that that's tight here as well. Can be finger tight. It's engaging about a 1/4 inch right now so that the window doesn't come out. So with all of that, at this point here, we're gonna probably try and put in the weight inside here if there's any more ticking sound. And if there's no ticking sound, we're gonna go back in and probably send this back out to you, so that you can actually start running the bone mill on a productive and efficient way.